everybody. Welcome to Global Radio TV again, and I have a few tiny little events or conferences that I would like to mention, some things to do. So we're going to cover the spectrum. We're going to cover nature, and we are going to cover technology and startups and all the exciting things that are happening here in South Florida. So I'm going to start out with Hispanicize, which is a conference that's been going on for a few years, and they invite a lot of journalists, a lot of bloggers, social media influencers. There's a lot of large brands, and the schedule is going to be that it's on April the 4th through the 8th, and the large schedule, full, replete with so many seminars. I went last year. It's HispanicizeEvent.com, and they have a lot of famous speakers, a lot of interesting information to impart from people that have been in this digital media space for quite some time. And they always mention how all of these social media platforms, for instance, are changing and evolving, and how some of them are relevant one year and then suddenly die off another year, and how you can use things like Facebook or YouTube or Snapchat, Meerkat, Periscope, whatever it is that will help your business grow to the next level and utilize it efficiently. And all these different people, bloggers and educators and brand managers, they're all sharing their wise experience and what they've tried in the past. And so feel free to look it up. It's at the Intercontinental. Manny Ruiz is the CEO there, so many different people that are involved to make it happen. A lot of people from around the country, some even around the world had stopped in, and I really benefited a lot. Last year, they had a lot of famous people. I remember William Levy was there, and I got a picture and I was sad because I lost all my pictures. But anyways, we're going to move on to another event called Emerge America, and I had stopped into a few days there as well last year, and Manny Medina had started this wonderful conference, and as you can see, it is sort of a way to blend or bring together angel investors and or people with capital, people that have innovative new technology ideas or different innovations that may be something beneficial to society, or that may be something that some venture capitalist is looking for. They talk about building smarter cities. They talk about many different new technologies that will be changing our world. I believe it's in its third year, and the conference will be going on the 18th and the 19th. So it is emergeamericas.org, and look at how beautifully colorful it was. They really did a spectacular job last year, I have to say. Their schedule is as well quite full, and they have a lot of startup showcases as well. Many different real estate companies were there showcasing their wares, because they're aware that a lot of people are trying to make Miami the technology hub of the Americas. So this is one way to showcase all the talent we have and to attract more talent as well. So take a look at that, and I wanted to prepare you all for both of these conferences since they're right around the corner. So many networking parties, many different large-scale sponsors as we see, and if you'd like to become a sponsor, you can certainly reach out to them. And from here, I would move on to something a little more natural, because yesterday, we'll move on to the food. Yesterday, I had gone to this very nice event called Around the World Culinary Tour, and I got a press pass. It was at the Marriott near the Omni, and the program was to benefit a lot of these schools that are part of the hospitality and tourism program. So they had a lot of different foods, a lot of silent auctions. They had an Asian corner, a South American corner, European corner, dessert stations. So it was quite a nice event, and it is to support all of those future professionals that will be working in hospitality and tourism, which is such a strong force here in South Florida. So another event coming up, Slow Food Miami. This is going to be done at the One Hotel, and I had spoken about the One Hotel, I think last week. This will be April the 29th, 7 p.m. So many of these famous restaurants or famous chefs from those restaurants will be speaking. They will be showing all of their wares at the table, so you'll get to sample different delectables, and I'm sure there will be spirits and cocktails to try. So many creative craft cocktails I've seen at these types of events. So from here we will move to, oh actually let me mention, Dewey is supposed to be there. So Dewey works in the Redlands at the Schnelby Redlands Winery, and he's always posting beautiful pictures of of different foods and such. So he used to be at the Forge for many years, and then Apolina, very talented chef. So I wanted to move on to, let's see, maybe some nature. A friend of mine, Steve, had gone to the Everglades. Once a year, you can actually walk through and see these some large cypress tree, and Allison, another friend of mine, she had gone as well on the trip, so they had showed some really unique photos from that area. And Allison is doing some wonderful work with the Syrian refugees in Greece, actually. So if you'd like to support any of those efforts, it's called the Third Wave Volunteer. We had her on as a guest prior, but let me show you some of these solar lights. They're bringing all these wonderful solar lights and raising money there. So find her at, let's see, I had it up before, but Third Wave Volunteers. She's written books about her experiences as a humanitarian the last 10 years. And so you can see all the stories and so many of the ways that people can help or contribute. So she's been really helpful in Haiti as well, and Nepal during the tsunami. So there's just a lot of need in that area. So please do donate. And let me show you some other pictures of the Everglades, since she had such a beautiful collection of pictures. It was such a unique experience. I had never seen those images. I think you need to walk 8 hours to see those images once a year. But we have this whole ecological specialty here in Florida, specifically in South Florida. Look at all of the nature and all of the wildlife. South Florida is replete with so much of these treasures, and you can go on these airboats, which is right here, and experience all of this swampland. So now it's become very developed, but I would suggest if you're here on vacation to certainly take a peek. And I met a gentleman yesterday who I was so impressed with. It was Captain Neil, and he has a website called Fishing with America's Finest. It is a nonprofit, and what he does is he takes veterans out to the Everglades a few times a month, and they're people suffering from the post-traumatic disorders who are very stressed. Obviously, you can imagine if you're under those war conditions, it's difficult. So you go out in the Everglades and it's just peace. You know, you're around all the birds and the wildlife, and it's still water. You don't get seasick. And so again, if you would like to donate there as well, a wonderful organization, Fishing with America's Finest. So thank you all very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week and you all enjoy the beautiful nature here in South Florida. Bye.